All righty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody's having a lovely day. And with that being said, let's dive into some TA. All right, guys. So I am just going to start out here with the weekly charts. Okay, before I say what I got to say on SPY's daily chart, weekly charts, break and retest. All right, pretty much picture perfect break and retest going on here on SPY. And then you come over here to QQQ. You have this double bottom. You also have a pretty much perfect break and retest. This was literally the zone we were paying attention to on that, pullback there. Price did hold it. You got right under, you swept the low there. Okay. And then you got back above it. Swept that low from the previous week. That is what I meant. But guys, you're riding the weekly 9 over here. Break and retest off the double bottom neckline. Ugly double bottom, of course. You come over here to IWM. That's also still just consolidating here. Come over to DIA. It's looking very bullish. And I'm just going to say, you broke out. And you literally have all these lower wicks sitting here. 3 back-to-back lower wicks. I know you got this doji candlestick. But over here, guys, you clearly see the bulls are taking control of this chart. All right. As if they weren't already in control. I'm just saying you had the consolidation here. They look like they want to have another leg. Okay, you typically do not see that type of action right before, you sell off. You see this type of action before you have another leg. All right, boom, boom, boom. 3 back-to-back weekly, lower wicks here. What happens? You go higher. Okay, this is something that we continue. You have the upper wicks here. Boom, boom, boom. You go lower. Okay, upper wicks right here. Boom, boom, boom. You go lower. My point is, you're still above that weekly 9. On the daily time frame over here on DIA, you just broke out from a 3-week range. All right. This is probably just getting started. We probably have some more upside to go. And I think I think it would benefit everyone who's here with us today to just keep that in the back of our minds. There's absolutely no reason for us to get bearish in these charts, no matter what we talk about in this video. But I'm just going to say everything looks not so bad. And so let's talk about these things. Let's kick it off. I know we went over DIA there. Let's kick it off with SPY's daily time frame. I am just going to point out you do have this larger, rising wedge here. I am just going to take that off, and I am just going to have this uptrend. Okay, break uptrend. Bad things happen. That is, all I want to say. And that's why, I prefaced this part with the previous part. Why? Because, even though I'm not bearish in this market right now, I know for a fact I could show a bunch of people what I'm going over right now. And they're going to be like, oh my gosh, rising wedge pattern. Oh my gosh, it's going to die. It's not going to die. All right. It could, but you got to wait for it to happen. And right now, weekly chart is looking mighty fine. Mighty fine, don't you mind? My divine. That is SPY. Looking fine. Oh, yeah. Increasing volume is probably going to be taking place this week as well, considering it is only Thursday and we have one more trading session in the week. All right. As long as SPY and QQ do not crap the bed tomorrow, things are looking like, QQ is going to push all-time highs. SPY to 580, 585. DIA, like I just pointed out, probably does have that next leg up. Doesn't have to be anything big, but it's probably moving up from where it is right now. Well, guess what? The indices are going to drag everything up. All right. And VIX, let's just come over here, guys. First things first. Weekly candlestick, butt ugly. Second thing second. Still have not came in contact with that daily 9. I was saying over here, it wouldn't be the worst look. And guys, I do want to apologize for not having a video yesterday. I was not in the mood. I'm just going to be transparent on that. I was not in the mood all day. I was actually pissed. I was very pissed. I got stopped out for I think it was around 800 beans right at the low yesterday. And I was so mad. I literally had told the Discord that, it looks like it's ready to explode or whatever it was. I'll literally, pulls up over here, come over here. It was literally right at 9:30, wherever that freaking was. Yesterday, 9:16, looks ready to pump. What the heck, dude? What the heck is this, dude? All right. Straight up, what did they do? They swept this freaking low on me. They swept it. And where did I have my stop? We'll go over how it was looking right now. But yeah, my apologies for not making a video yesterday. I was definitely not in the mood because, yeah, honestly, after this, guys, I didn't take another trade. I literally sat there. I was like, oh my gosh, I missed the entry. Oh my gosh, I can't get in on this thing late. I was just straight up gun shy after that. I was like, wow, the thing just went hundreds of points in my direction. With like 100 points, like, let's just look at it this way. I took some profits on one somewhere over here. I think I entered somewhere over here. I caught that little pop. I re-enter. Knowing me, it's probably right here. Why? Break and retest action right there. Also testing the 15-minute 9 EMA. I'm like, oh yeah, this thing looks like it's about to rocket. I see liquidity sitting at, I think it was 350. I was like, this thing's going to go tag that. It's going to be sexy. What do? I take off the stop loss right here. I had the stop loss somewhere sitting over here. I take it off. I put a new one all the way down here. I'm like, what the fuck? Honestly, I did not know what was going through my head. And yeah, then I got gun shy. I did not take another trade after that. I was just kind of pissed at the market. So I was like, oh my gosh. I knew exactly what was going to happen. And I just completely screwed the pooch on that. No. And then, yeah, literally 100 points within freaking 45 minutes. I'm like, oh my gosh, dude. I stopped out at the bottom. I took an $800 loss. So, like, what's 40 points? I was so mad. It was underneath this low. I had to stop, dude. And I know they run stops. It's just, I was so mad. Oh my gosh, dude. Oh my gosh. Is this where it is? Yeah, right over here, right? So it was literally right over here. And then I look back, and what really sucks at the end of the day, and now I was like, nope, I got to get my mind right. All right, let's just actually come back and find that, wherever the heck it is. Over there. 2-minute chart. My system's designed just to get little scalp entries on trending moves. You wait for a break of structure. And yeah, you can get in. You can start getting in on your moves. What happened? You started getting that right around here. Price was above that 5-minute 9 EMA. Price got above the 2-minute 9 EMA, and you came back to retest it. Okay, you came back to retest it. All of these, $400, 20 points within 2 minutes on pretty much all of these entries that I found 7. I looked, later that night, and I was like, oh my gosh. If I just sat back and relaxed and didn't freaking have my finger on the trigger ready to go right off open, trying to freaking just, catch this $2,000 move. Like, I literally saw liquidity sitting at 350. I was like, it's going to go tap that. Do you guys see where sellers step? I was so pissed about yesterday because I was so ready to nail that trade. I was so ready. And that's the only reason I was taking on so much. I was so ready for it. I was like, we're getting it. And then I just didn't enter. I was like, nah, I missed it. Nope. It kept going higher. We have a 1. We have a 2. We have a 3. Okay. We're not going to even count this one. Okay. And then you consolidate. Well, this pulled back right to the 5-minute. Like, that's literally where price, buyers are going to step in if they're going to step in. What happens? 4, 5. We'll call that 6. We'll call that 7. We'll call it 8. All right. All of these are like freaking 20 points in my direction within a 2-minute candlestick. I was literally so pissed after just going back and looking, like, even if you miss the initial breakout, you have a system for scalps on these trending moves. You have a system for it, and you completely didn't. Oh my gosh. I'm getting tight about it right now. But yeah, either way, guys, I apologize for not making a video yesterday. I was just honestly so frustrated with myself. I just wanted someone to freaking hit me yesterday. I was like, someone fucking punch me in the face. Punch me in the face. Oh my God, punch me in the face. I was really so mad. Guys, other things are good. Options are good. I'm gonna be quite honest, guys. We got a really hot market right now. I was just really mad that we had like a perfect trending move, and I just literally didn't even capitalize on it. Not even close. Did the opposite. I was so mad about that. Either way, back to the video, guys. I know 5-minute little discussion there, but you know what, guys? I'm gonna guess most of the people watching these videos are traders, or they are people aspiring to become traders. And you know, this is something that you're gonna go through like constantly. You know, it literally is just how it is. I ran into someone at the grocery store yesterday, and he literally made me feel so better. Right? Somehow he brings up that he's a freaking he's you know been training Dow since the 1990s, and yeah, he pretty much just assured me in a grocery store at you know near the checkout. He bumped into me, and then you know somehow yeah, no, but it was great. I literally never meet anybody who trades the market, and he was like, "Man, I'm just having my days off or something." He was saying something like that, like I'm having a rough day or something like that. I was like, "Man, I know all about rough days. Nasdaq freaking killed me this morning." He was like, "Oh, you're in the stock market," and like you know that just got to talking about it, and like at the end, told me he's been doing you know Dow futures for a very long time now, and he's like, "Dude, futures will freaking kill you," but you know it is the game. You got to keep going, and like you know, it seems like you're in a good spot. You're just really mad, but just know like there's gonna be bad days. You just got to keep going. He was like you know an angel. Okay, so like yeah, I'm thankful for that. All right, back to the video. I'm sorry, back to the video. But you know, also at the end of the day, like I'm serious, guys. There are gonna be bad days, and you know, it is not like we can guaranteed catch everything. We just can't. All right. But I'm going to say, guys, everything looks very bullish right now. I don't think there's a reason to be concerned. And, you know, I also didn't make the video because I was like, you know, CPI is coming out tomorrow anyway. I'm really pissed. I don't want to get something wrong right now. I don't want to come out right before CPI and CPI, you know, comes in hot and the thing freaking tanks. But, you know, looking at back at it, no, Bears got another shot at it. We got a break and retest off the previous high over here, 574.71, just like we got a break and retest off that one. Like straight up, guys, this is super bullish. All right. I don't like, you know, yes, this is a neutral candlestick, but let's be completely clear on this. Bears had another shot right here to, you know, really get their sell here. Well, what happened? You end up with a inside day, break and retest. You had hot CPI. That is the market's reason to sell off there, and that's why they did originally. But straight up, that's Bears opportunity right there. You know, look back at these daily candlesticks, and you're really not going to see a you know bullish green bar like this followed by an inside day that gets just faded. It's just, you know, I looked before this video just so I don't want to, you know, say something without fact checking my own self. You know, straight up, guys, it's just not something that I can find on these charts over the past, you know, at least few months I was looking at. You see an inside bar, typically it is followed by some more upside. All right. Like, you know, either consolidation, then more upside, or just immediately, you know, you just get some buyers stepping in. And, you know, we don't really get it too often, but, you know, you don't full on sell off these things. It's not a bearish look we have going on at all. Like this is, you know, we don't have exactly that look. We have a doji candlestick next to our, you know, big green bar there, you know. But like we don't have a bearish look. And I wanted to go over the weekly charts, especially DIA over here, the Dow. You know, it's looking immaculate right now. Like you can come over here to YM and you can literally see it was consolidating for 3 weeks. This same exact range. 3 weeks, 21 days. Okay. Well, consolidate for this. Okay. So, you know, 2.5 weeks. Okay. But you literally swept the low of the range over here, swept these lows and went up to the high, broken retest off top of the range. Like this looks like it's about to go. Like, I can't be more clear on this. It doesn't even have to get a big pop, but, you know, even something like that, like, you know, give me a 1 to 2% move up here. That's not bad at all. Okay. Like, I don't trade DIA or YM. I haven't, but, you know, I'm going to be honest. I kind of want to. I'm not gonna. I don't have the system that, you know, I back tested over there. I literally haven't. And that is what I think to be a recipe for losing money. And I think there's no reason to even take those odds. All right. But yeah, everything looks really good, guys. I want to just be very clear on that. Everything looks very good. All right. 14 minutes into the video, guys. We're just going to start going over support and resistance. I think I've made my point here, guys. I think we are going, you know, higher from here. And I also just want to point out, guys, we got some killer setups to watch right now. Like everything is like not only looking good for continuation, but like it genuinely looks like it's set up to go. All right. So, you know, support is going to be 574.71, 572.55 under there, 569.80 Okay, I'm not saying price gets back down there, but we can see that is going to be a spot that's probably going to be respected. Now I'm going to just let everyone know, all right? You come down to 572.55. You're going to come in contact with that daily 9, and you probably do get buyers the first attempt there. So, do not expect just to straight up break that level. And what also happens to be right here, the uptrend, guys. When you have all that confluence in one spot, there's no reason to bet against that, all right? So if you see price come down into that, which would be a, $4 move to the downside from here, like, 375, if you do see that, look for it to swipe these lows, then look for a wick to form, maybe on the hourly, maybe on the 15, but, especially on that daily time frame, you would just sweep these lows here, and, that's something that's probably going to give you a $3 to $4 bounce at least. We just typically don't see, it immediately get faded. Like, look at this. All right. You had a full on big boy bounce from that spot. All right. $4 bounce that day. This is what I'm saying. You're probably going to get buyers stepping in here. Now, I don't think price is going to do this and take all this time to reclaim it and just get back under it. I think we have more upside, guys. All right. Resistance 577.71. Above there, we're watching 580 and the 585 psych levels. Okay. Now, I know I ain't got them on the chart, but just know, typically we do see, these round numbers, these become a big deal. All right. This was right around 575. That's a big deal. Okay. Right over here, this was 565. So, I just look at every $5. That's your next psych level. Okay. QQQ, what do we got going on, guys? What are we cooking? Another inside day over here. You did get that increasing volume on a doji, not the biggest candlestick is what I'm getting at. Positions were taken today, and let's just look at it this way. Double bottom, okay? I'll just make it very clear, okay? Very clear right here. Double bottom. Oh, neckline. Oh, look at that. But yeah, straight up, guys, you came back and you retested this big old, green guy over here. And yeah, what happened? The stiffy ended up acting as a, launch pad for price. And now you're back up at the high. What do you think's going to happen now? All right. We're either going to stay in consolidation and do something like that, or we're just going to run up to highs. Like, there's nothing else to say about this. You had the 0.786 fib. Yesterday, the 0.786 fib was breached. And above there, I think it was 590.20, 590.30. It was pretty close. Above there, yeah, pretty close. But there, don't expect price not to come up here. Expect 100% retracement. Buyers are taking the wheel here. And then what happens? Okay, guys, you take this whole move. We already knew this dip was going to very likely just be a buying opportunity. Why? Because let's get rid of the stiffy over here. Price already got above the 0.786 fib here as well as this high. Like, it was very likely that we were going to find a higher low on here. And look what happened. You came down and you found buyers in the double bottom neckline, which is the zone. You can see it very clearly on the weekly time frame. And now you held the weekly 9 and you're pushing up with all these lower wicks. It looks like you're about to have a next leg up to all-time highs. All right. It looks like this range is done with. You're going up. Just don't crap the bed tomorrow. You're looking so freaking juicy. Okay. I don't even care what happens tomorrow. Give us another day of consolidation. Who cares? All right. Who cares? Straight up, consolidation or upward price action. That is it. Guys, the market crashers, you want to look at SPY right now and say, oh, rising reds. Wait for it to break down before you say anything, okay? Bad things do happen when these trend lines are broken typically, but, you're going to have to wait. And at the end of the day, you also have these false breakdowns. So if it even does break that trend line, guys, I ain't going to be the one to trust it. I'm not going to say I'm just going to go crazy buying the dip, but I'm definitely going to tell you right now, I ain't going to trust it. This thing looks like, either we're going to consolidate here and then continue our move up, or we're just going to have that move up. We just consolidated for 3 weeks. We have no reason to stay in this range. Okay? It just broke up. The market has made its decision. That's how I'm looking at this. And, again, you want to be a market crash, that's on you, okay? I know, hey, the Fed just cut rates, guys. Oh, market crash is going to happen. We all know it's going to happen, but it's not going to be right now. And, honestly, we don't know what's going to happen. This whole system is a freaking Ponzi scheme, and they have no incentive to stop it. There isn't. And honestly, I don't care if they stop it. They give us a market crash, great. Give us a big reset on everything and let equity prices go back up as people get less scared and, they get more comfortable with the market again. Give us another cycle. That's fine. But, at the end of the day, the U.S. ain't going anywhere. All right? We're going to be here. We're going to be here on this channel covering price action every day. That's fine. Okay? Take that. Sorry, the little ugly guy in the corner over there. All right? But coming back over here to QQQ, guys. Break and retest going on. Now back at the highs. Let's go over support and resistance. Resistance, 493.69. I do think you're going to get above there, and you're going to take your way up. Your big old behind over here. I told you guys, QQ, they could beat. They take her back behind the shed. They could beat her, but guess what? She's going to put makeup on. She's going to get all pretty again after this pullback is done, and that's just how it was going to go. What happened? We're back up, baby. We're back up. And, I'm not saying I got a crystal ball or nothing, but I'm definitely going to say right now, I've seen these patterns play out over and over and over again. I'm not talking about these stupid double bottoms, inverse head and shoulders, downtrend breaks. We're talking about simple market structure here, all right? This thing was, very likely going to lead to a higher, higher low, followed by the higher high. What is happening? All right, we're doing that. She put her freaking makeup on, and now we're looking sexy. We're ready to get back up to 5 at 352. All-time highs incoming over the next 1 to 2 weeks. I'll make that call. That's what I'm seeing right now. I'm thinking it's going to happen. That's the call. That was easy. There we go. All right. Support. What do we got going on, guys? 490.63. Underneath 490.63, we have 488.41 and then 484.54. I am not saying price is going to get down there. Honestly, if it comes down to retest 488.41, that is where I would look for buyers to step back in. Why? Because you literally will have the daily 9 sitting there. And, when you get back above it, what happened? Initial reaction was bullish. When you were already above and you came back tested, what happened? Initial reaction was bullish. Oh, you did it right here. Initial reaction was bullish. From here, 474 up to 477. Don't expect just to sell through that. All right? So I will just remind everyone of that. Now, as far as QQQ goes, guys, thing found buyers at the golden pocket. This thing kind of has this little downtrend here on the 15-minute time frame, you can see. All right, you've broken above. The fact that you held the golden pocket here and now you're pushing back up, and we have that look on the daily time frame and the weekly time frame, and everything just looks pretty darn stinking good. Like, this is not bearish. Yeah, we're probably going to be going higher. So that is what we are going to look for, all right? We're looking for a 493.69 to be taken out, and above there, you really don't have much, okay? Next stop, 498.44. IWM, guys, look at that. 22 minutes into the video, we've only covered SPY and QQ. That is a new record. That's okay. I missed you guys, and I had to catch up with you guys. That is that. By that, I mean, I took like 5 extra minutes to tell you guys about my losing trade right off the open yesterday, right before things just ripped faces on me, and then my angel from the grocery store. I know, beautiful things we got going on this channel. Beautiful freaking things. All right, guys, you're still in the bull flag over here on IWM. You put in a hammer candlestick off the gap down today. This could potentially lead to an island reversal if we get a gap up tomorrow. And, honestly, this thing's looking pretty sexy to me. I'm going to just take this and we're going to make that the high right there. We're going to make that our resistance right there. Okay. You got a lot of levels. So if you are an IWM trader, right, you got a lot of things to go off of right over here. You can clearly see what's going on. All right. On the hourly time frame, we could see above 216.88. We're just looking for continuation up to the next level, 217.55. And then 218.24 is above there. You can see you get your reactions there. Now, I am just going to say, guys, if you come back up here, you're probably going to break out of this guy, and you're probably going to start running to the above 3 levels at 219.98, 221.13, and 222.45. All right? Hammer candlestick, long lower wick going on there. And guess what? They close you out the highs with that increasing volume. This thing is probably going to bounce tomorrow. Probably at least going to come up here to like around 218-ish and come in contact with that daily 9. All right. And guys, I get annoyed how much I say the daily 9 as well, too. I don't want to say it as much, but I'm going to be completely honest. It paints a really simple picture for us to pay attention to. And if you study these things, it'll just, it'll get you on the right side every time you're coming into it. So don't look for buyers, just take you right through it. But hey, if you do take out 218.24, you probably are just going to start running it up. All right. Now, like I said, VIX over here, guys, you are not at your daily 9 yet. I am looking for a retest, or at least for you to get a little closer there. 15-minute RSI is nearing oversold territory. As you could see, if you get an oversold territory and then get that bullish divergence, you don't even need the bullish divergence, but a lot of these times you slightly sweep that low, higher high on the RSI, you get a little pop on the VIX. That's literally all that tells you is like, hey, look for a pullback, or at least be cautious on the long side for a SPY and QQQ. I just use it constantly to paint the bigger picture point of view for myself. And, I share that to my community. But yeah, so that's what I'm looking for over here on VIX, guys. If we do see this come into oversold territory, look for it to start bouncing back. Maybe a bullish divergence pops up. And then from that point, we could look for a next pullback on SPY. But for the time being, I don't really see a reason to get ultra, bearish on the markets here. They're not proven to be bearish at all. From a price action perspective, it's looking beautiful. The only thing you could say about this thing that's not looking beautiful is you get that rising wedge pattern going on there. You come get another pop like into 580, you slam into the top trend line there. That's really the only technical thing that I can point to that, isn't a plus for this chart. Is like upside could be limited up to like 580, 582, we'll call it, depending on if you do it here on Monday. That's kind of the only downside I'm seeing to this setup we have here. And I didn't even show you guys the individual tickers. Things look like they're ready to go. Semis look like they're ready to freaking go. All right, so we're actually going to start off with semiconductors. We're going to start off with SMH here. Guys, you are finding, buyers. They're flipping this supply zone. You've had sellers. You got underneath it. You had sellers. You had sellers. And now you're holding it. And you're actually finding buyers. That's represented by the lower wicks over here. You have a long lower wick on the hammer candlestick yesterday. And today you did hold the line there. And again, this is not a look that, leads me to believe we're probably going to be seeing some downside here. It leads me to believe we're probably going to see some upside here to this next big spot at 264. All right, you see this kind of move on SMH, guys. Expect, NVIDIA at all-time highs. AMD's going for a ride. We're getting a pullback buying opportunity right now. Avgo's going to go for a ride, but further all-time highs. TSM, you got to go back up to all-time highs. ARM, all right, guys, we already ran it back up on ARM, okay? What you know about it? What you know about it? Okay, we run it. What you know about it? All right, I hope you guys run it. I hope you do. I hope you guys are killing this market. Yeah. Kill this market, guys. I hope you guys are smashing it and thrashing it. And quite frankly, guys, like everything looks bullish. What do you want me to say here? Look at this, guys. Double bottom, ugly double bottom neckline. You're holding the neckline right now, basing in it, and it looks like you're about to go. This looks so bullish to me. What you know about it? Okay, so that's SMH. That's the index. And then you got NVIDIA. What the heck is this thing? What is this? Guys, you close out like this, we're probably going to have another candlestick that goes higher. All right, like even over here, yeah, it was in a wick, but you went $9 higher. I'll take that. I will take that. Okay. NVIDIA's looking freaking phenomenal. And we called it out on the bull flag breakout over here after coming back and dancing around this 118 spot. The game plan is over here. You broke above here. And then, like you see these gray lines is because this was on the focus list. Above 122.44, the next spot you're watching is 127.67. Once you break above 127.67, you're breaking out of your big ass pennant here, your inverse head and shoulders pattern right there. And you also have made a new higher high. You now have your trending move that comes. And, most of the time, the market is consolidating, guys. But what happens a lot, not a lot, but like maybe, 1/3 of that time, you get these. All right. And what do we have right here? Something that could freaking rip faces. Okay. This is a move that, top to bottom here, you went a very long ways. Okay. You went $40. So we know it can move. $40 is all the way up here at 155. 150, here we come, guys. That's what I'm calling for over here on NVIDIA. I actually saw this earlier in the day, and I was like, this is a break and retest. I kind of like it. I didn't get to take NVIDIA because I pussied out down here. I think it was somewhere over here. And then Yeah, I didn't end up doing it, but I will point out this thing is definitely looking like it's going to hit test 136.15 in the short term. Then above there, we're probably just going to run straight for 140.76. Guys, this is a freight train. Don't get in front of the freight train. I know, oh, it could pull back. It could come back to retest 127.60. Of course it can. Daily RSI is getting overbought. Of course it is. But at the end of the day, what happens when these typically get overbought? It goes for ripperoonies. Okay, you got one there. You got one here. And what happened? It was literally right before the move really took off. All right. 35% to the upside. 35 schmeckles to the upside. Well, now you're getting back into that overbought territory. And, NVIDIA has a history of really just ripping faces when you get into this overbought zone here. And I think it could happen again. I'm just saying. I think it could happen again. Alrighty. You got over there, you pulled back, and then you kind of just kept going higher. Fun. Dude, I remember like trying to short somewhere here. I want to say. Yeah, it was 2023. Oh yeah. And yeah, no, it's very funny that this thing was, way more expensive back in the day. I looked at this thing as like the Big Short. Honestly, I don't know what the heck. I thought this was all going to be a big AI bubble back in the day. But then somewhere, all right, I think it was somewhere over here. Somewhere in here, I made the realization that, no, this thing actually is not a bubble. They are, this is kind of the world we're living in where everything's really supporting their business. It's not like the .com bubble with this business. All right, I got to stop talking about NVIDIA, guys. It's the end of the day. So I know we got time. I got time. But yeah, still we got to progress over here. AMD guys, back testing the big bull flag here on the weekly time frame. You are now retesting that, back testing, whatever you want to call it. You are also retesting the 162.04 breakout level. And if you can pull all the way back into here, this is where I'd say the biggest buying opportunity is going to be between 153.64 and 157.05, specifically 157.05. But I won't be surprised if buyers are stepping right here. Come over here, the 4-hour RSI, and what's going on? It's almost oversold. You come down here, it's going to be oversold. You probably just get buyers stepping in. But what's more likely to happen, considering you haven't made a lower low this whole run? You're probably not going to come back down here. Probably going to find buyers somewhere over here, and then you're going to pump it back up. All right. And if you do come back over here, that's not going to be the best look. That kind of does set you up to do something like that. All right. Because from that point on, that. All right. And that would be a neckline, something like that. Okay. But AMD, I like it as long as that doesn't happen. All right. I really like it. Risk reward here. I think you're flying. Okay. You are flying. I'm not, going to say it's the greatest thing, but I'm definitely going to say this, and I'd say it's not the greatest thing because, AMD has been like an SMCI, at least to me. All right. This thing's a giant free control. And, but I think we're probably in the early stages of one of these happening. So, I'm going to get ahead of this thing. I'm going to, call this out as it's happening this time. We just had a really long downtrend here. We are starting to finally see signs of life. You have fallen like literally 45% from the highs there. If it dragged its way up here, which if you find buyers here, you take out that high, you're probably coming up to 187.28. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. Always got the hiccups in these videos. If you get above 187.28, you're probably going to make your way back up to a new all-time high. All right? Like, excuse-moi. It is looking very phenomenal. Okay? And like I said, weekly time frame, you can clearly see that bull flag. Nice consolidation there. Nice controlled consolidation, I should say. Right into a previous break and retest. Right into a previous breakout zone. This thing's looking freaking phenomenal. All right. You lost this level. You did that just to confirm that you have it. You came back to retest it. Like this thing wants to push, guys. All right. Weekly time frame, daily time frame's looking good. Like I said, 4-hour. It's going to be oversold over here if it comes down. So expect at least a dead cat bounce there. I'd be cautious on, long in that thing and, not taking the profits quick because it could turn into a head and shoulders. All right. You got this over on Avgo, guys. You did push up to a new all-time high yesterday. Avgo is looking absolutely phenomenal. You came back, retested this neckline over here, the double bottom neckline, just like QQQ. So this looks, let's just look at it this way. QQQ is on this candlestick right here. You guys, are you doubting it? You doubting it? Got the wick. All right. Go back over to Avgo. Just do this. My brain does not work sometimes. It does not just think, oh, we can relay these right next to each other. You should have thought that before, buddy. All right. But yeah, literally, we got the same exact look, guys. You got that followed by the hammer candlestick, and now we're starting to launch. I know this thing's a bit ahead of that guy, but you know what happens? Well, you get 100% retracement from this move right here. Okay, that is an ugly double bottom over there. Okay, yes, you are. All right. But yeah, as long as you hold above here, guys, we're coming to new all-time high. That means all of these things we're talking about here, all of the little guys. All right, we're probably not gonna see them coming down. We're probably gonna see them, you know, fall QQ up to all-time highs. All right, and a lot of them are already at all-time highs. Support over here on Avgo is going to be 180.25. That is where you broke out from the most recent breakout over here. I know you have an all-time high breakout right here. But you know, we could see it on the smaller time frame, which in this case is the daily time frame. That would very clearly be a confluence spot. You would come in, you would probably hold it at least on the first test for the dead cat bounce. Why? You have the daily 9 down over here, so you're probably at least going to print like a hammer over there, or just get buyers stepping in. But yeah, from that point, I do think we are going higher. Like I said on NVIDIA, all right, daily RSI is approaching overbought territory, but you know, with chips, guys, if they really want to start running, we could see these things stay overbought. I've seen it. You've seen it. Maybe you haven't seen it. I'm telling you it happens. And yeah, you probably are going to see it. That's Avgo for you. TSM, how we looking, guys? In the weekly chart, this thing's looking like a freaking tank. It's same thing. Break and retest off of this little ugly double bottom neckline thing. All right, which actually, I didn't look at it as a double bottom. I looked at it as a head and shoulders pattern. Why? Because you have a left shoulder, a head, a right shoulder, and a breakout. And what do we have? A retest, a break and retest of that inverse head and shoulders neckline. And you found buyers. And now on the weekly time frame, it looks very obvious that we are coming up to take out that 193.47 high. This was also something on the focus list. And you know, the trigger for this was, let's just get back above Friday's high over here. If we take that out, you actually broke and retested over here. You know, above 181.23, targeting was, we were targeting 185.94, 189.33, and 193.47. Guys, the trade plan is still underway. Okay, like this whole thing, it's still going. This thing is still actively, you know, doing that. This thing is going up to all-time highs, okay? It has not stopped. It's not going to pull back. Like, it could pull back, but it's very likely not going to. You look very obviously like you're going to take out this wick right here. And if you do that, you're just going to come up here to the new all-time high. All right, TSM looks phenomenal. Chips, if you haven't noticed, I'm very bullish on chips right now. I really like how they're looking and setting up in all types of crazy ways. I've given you so many setups on these chips over the past few weeks, and I hope you guys have taken advantage of some of those. And yeah, I hope we all had a good time, and that's that. The most recent one over here was ARM, where you came back over here to this uptrend, and guess what? You did end up sweeping that 135.41 low, which happened to be the top of the previous trading range, and you were very likely going to get buyers stepping in there. What happened? You printed a doji, you tested that little uptrend right over there. You formed your third touch point, so technically the trend just got set over here. All right, and what happened next? You came up and you were about to take up that high. I told you 153.50 was probably going to be coming if you could hold down here. That is where we're at right now, and I'm just going to say this weekly chart suggests we honestly could see a full-on freaking leg up here to all-time highs. Guys, this has like 4 to 5 weeks of consolidation sitting right here. You're just starting to break above there. You flipped your supply zone into demand. I literally talked about this concept on one of the previous tickers. All right. You know, it's as bullish as it gets. All right. You're underneath the weekly 9 EMA here, short-term moving average. You reclaimed it. You consolidated above it, as well as, you know, in this heavily traded zone, which now is being turned into a demand zone. And now we are launching off of that, trading it as a launch pad. This thing's about to get some moves, guys. With all likelihood, it's like, I know we got the golden pocket, and I say, like, don't long the golden pocket. I still say, you know, do what you want. No financial advice will be given on this channel, but I'll definitely also say this thing looks like it's not going to give two freaking rats butts about this 0.786 fib here. Is probably going to run up to a new all-time high, probably in a style like that. Boom. All right, so that's ARM. And, I hope you guys are seeing the opportunity I'm laying out in these charts. Everything's looking really bullish, okay? What do you have over on MU? You have this higher low compared to over here. And then I know this is not a higher high compared to over here, but what happened? You had that tight consolidation right around the daily 9, and then you launched right off of it. And as of today, you have a new higher high over here. You look like in the short term, you're going to start running up here above 111. You get a daily close above 111. You're coming, all likelihood, you're coming up here to 130. All right. We don't need to complicate it. Take off the freaking RSI. Look at this price action. Okay. You came up here. You found sellers. We know there's sellers up here. If you get that daily close, you expect it to go to 130. Okay. It doesn't have to, but, with all likelihood, that's what's probably going to happen, because that would be a confirmed breakout from this double bottom pattern. Perfect double bottom, might I add. It's not ugly this time. It's just perfect. Okay. Now moving over here, here's your first trade idea of the day. Okay. Which I know I just talked about chips and, some opportunity in that space. But this is definitely also in the chip space, and this is the one I really would be focusing on if you want to get in on something that has not moved yet. You had your first initial move here. You came back and you retested the daily 9. You also did find buyers off of the 0.618 fib from taking that move that we had the other day. See it clearly on the hourly time frame over here. All right, right there. So you did end up finding those buyers there, and you could put it all the way down here as well, and you also did find it from top there. You found buyers right there at the 0.618 fib, right at $44, and that is more accurate there. Regardless, what I care about is you're consolidating above the daily 9 now that you got above it, and it does look like this is going to lead to another leg higher. Above 50.07, we probably are going to run straight for this area right over here, which happens to be right around that $55 cycle level. It actually starts right at that $55 cycle level, just about. And, I'm just saying, probably get sellers there, but if you get above here, you're coming to 60 beans. Guys, this is, we're talking money here on something that has really not moved at all. This whole rebound. All you did over here, I got another trade idea for you guys. It's looking pretty much just like this, except I think much better. You are already seeing buyers full in, step in. Okay, full on step in. That's what I meant to say. But yeah, over here, guys, you did have your first, real higher high over here, followed by a potential higher low. If you come up here and take out 50.07, you have a daily trend change. And yeah, I would like that. Okay, I think this would look great for it, and we clearly have seen it has fallen 70 freaking percent. Short term, 55 and $60. So there you go. All right, now we're gonna come over here to the big boys. All right, let's go over some FANG stocks. What do we got going on, guys? Apple is approaching this downtrend again. I'm just going to say you're just consolidating here, guys. You're getting ready to release that energy. I'm not talking no hippie crap. Okay, we're talking straight up. You have a bunch of buying and selling going on here. People are losing their freaking minds. Eventually, one side is going to snap, and you're going to see that energy get released from all these people freaking screaming and punching each other in here. Okay, that's how I look at this. That's how I think is the most objective way to look at it, because that's really how price action develops. Okay, you have a bunch of the buyers and sellers just beating the crap out of each other. All right, you're coming down here, and the seller's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get you," and the buyer's like, "Boom, knockout." Okay, and they take you back up. Sellers are boom, they're down for the count right there at the very moment. They're like, "Okay, I'm gonna step back." All right, but then buyers get they're like, "Oh, we're coming back up for the trend line." And then what happens? Sellers are like, "Nope, no, you're not." Knockout again. They slam you all the way back down, and then buyers step in. They're lying in the sand. They know they have to get up. All right, this the last chance. They have to get up. They get up. They bring you right back. So as you can see, did I not just sound like I'm going crazy talking about what they're doing? Is that not how that sounds? Well, that's what they're doing. They're going freaking nuts in here. They're going crazy in this range. Eventually, it's gonna snap. And you're gonna go for a ride, all right? You take out 232.92, you're gonna go for a ride. You're coming up to 240, guys. Okay? You can literally just look at it like this. Don't gotta complicate things. Go like that. $8. Okay, break above there. You come to 240. It's 242, but you come to 240. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for over here on Apple. That is, my bias. They're speaking. I do think we're going to break to the upside. Considering you had this slow and controlled pullback here, and you look like you are ready to go to the upside. This is very clearly a bullish chart over here. You can see it on the weekly time frame. It looks phenomenal. Okay, it looks very phenomenal. So that is Apple. We're going to come over here to Microsoft, and I am going to point out you are rejecting that daily 9. You actually got underneath that uptrend, and now you're also rejecting that. That is not the best look. Okay, not the best look. I repeat, that is terrible. Okay, get above there, then we could talk about some upside. But until that happens, we don't really have much to talk about on the upside because it's not going to happen. All right, get above 419.88. You're going to be above the daily 9. From that point, we're looking for a move back up to the zone 425.86 to 430.82. All right, but on the downside is your support. You already found buyers stepping in there this morning. All right, you could just look at that right over here, right off the open, guys. And if you have solid supports and resistance, the only way you know that they are valid levels is if price action is respecting them. Okay? If not, they're not going to be valid levels. This is proof. We know exactly what we are, supposed to be looking at, guys. So if you do lose here, you're probably going to come back down into these lows. Okay? Because we clearly could see that is a respected level. And if you do not hold 413.10, you're probably coming down to the next spot that's going to have them buy orders, and that's going to be this little zone down here. Straight up. What happens to be right there? 0.786 Fib. All right, so that's what you're watching over here on Microsoft. Goog, how we looking, guys? You are, you getting back up. You got those buyers off of 160, 163. That is where you gapped up over here. Came back, found buyers for the second day there today. But I'm just going to say, same situation over here. You're not above that daily 9. This is very likely going to turn into a buying opportunity. This is your right shoulder here. I would personally love to see a move down here. I got an alert to tell me if that move's happening, but let's see, put on that second alert to where should we be grabbing that. All right. 156.60, guys. This is literally where the left shoulder was over here. So if you don't see what I am talking about right here, if that came down to the low, came down to the high, came down to here, well, it would be picture perfect if you had an equivalent right shoulder here, 2 over there, and then sprung back up. That would be perfect. Do we have the golden pocket aligning with there? Wow. Don't you just freaking love it, guys? Don't you love it? All right, we're here 46 minutes in. We're still talking about freaking charts. Don't you love it? All right, charts are love, charts are life. It's like that Shrek is love, Shrek is life. I remember when I was... That was a while ago. That was a very long time ago. That was like a meme back in the day. Shrek is love, Shrek is life. Well, guess what? Charts are love, charts are life. It's a way of life. It really is. You're gonna learn about yourself, guys. You are. You take on the journey of seeing how these charts function, and you will see how you function. If you can always do that. Charting and trading are completely different entities right there. They're different beasts. Okay, you can chart successfully and not do the trading thing. Trading, you need to master your emotions. Like, I'm not even gonna say master. It's just you are battling your own self. That is what that is. Charts have nothing to do with that. All right, but trading, 100%. You are battling yourself, and really in the end, you need to find systems that work, and you need to put in the screen time. There's really nothing else but screen time, because in reality, you learn how to read the charts. It makes you can't trade if you can't chart. So you do have to start there. So they are connected, guys. They are connected. But there's that. Point is, guys, all right, you got Confluence sitting down here at 156.6. That was not the point of what I was just saying. I was saying charts love, charts are life. And you're going to learn about yourself. There's that. But you lost the 9 over here. Right over here, you came back and retested. Like I was saying earlier in the video, expect a reaction around this bad boy. You did get sellers stepping in there, and now you came down to the next support, 160, 163. Underneath there, guys, you are just going to be paying attention to all the way down here at 156.60, which also happens to have Confluence with the 0.618 fib. I really would love if price got down there. It would be amazing. All right. Amazon, now this is one that I also do love right now, and I would like if it came back and retested right over here around 185.50, around there. Maybe it comes down to 185, holds the daily 9, gets back above it, holds it. All right. And then launches off of that back up here to these highs. Best case scenario, that's what I just talked about. Best case scenario. That is it. Okay, here on extended hours, you can see we had the 4-hour bullish divergence right here from our, what we called the buy zone before price actually got down here. We're talking about it from right over here, which we were hoping price came back to retest it. I'm really hoping you come back to 178.9. I mean, now, I'm in, but I don't want you to come back down. But that's what I was hoping for, and you didn't seem like you were going to do that. And I'm just going to say right now, guys, are you coming back up to this high? Why did you come back up to this high? You're probably going to break the high. All right, and you probably run to the next level at 190.60. Okay, you can see that here on the daily time frame. That was this high over there. All right, what do we got on Meta, guys? We did have a hammer candlestick yesterday, followed by a something that looks like it's probably going to be faded tomorrow. All right, you typically don't come down here and get close to the low of that wick and close down here without going down to test the low of there. That's just what I have seen in my experience. Now, for the bears over here, picture perfect. You're going to gap underneath the daily 9 over here. You're going to gap underneath 583.04. You do that, it sets you up for, a move down here. Let's look at it this way. You do that, it sets you up with overhead supply right off the bat. So if you test that overhead supply, that is an easy entry there. That is something to risk there. That is, something that you're probably going to see the other sellers step in there and shove price down to this next level of 573.98. Which I'm actually going to change to right here, 577.40. And underneath there, what are we going to pay attention to? This low at 568.73. That's meta for you. Okay. On the upside is resistance. Got to take out 594.39. Then you can run it back up to 602.95. Okay. We were looking for 600. What do we get this week? 600 right off the bat. Tesla. You just had you didn't have it yet, but it's today. It's today. Okay. You closed out today with a hammer candlestick off of the inverse head and shoulders neckline. Guys, I missed this. I missed it down here, and I saw it when it was somewhere over here, and I was like, oh my God, this is what I've been talking about. And it literally finally happened, and I was not there for it. Boom. All right. I don't know what happened to my alert there. Maybe I have no idea. Maybe it got hit, and I didn't even see it. Regardless, we saw it before, this thing's probably about to pop. I'm just saying, you have a big, robotaxi event going on here. This is exactly the setup that we were saying you're probably going to see buyers step in off of. Like, screw this uptrend break right here. I would love to see you just have swept this uptrend here. And then guess what? You came back to retest the inverse head and shoulders neckline, and then you see buyers step in, and boom, you get taken back up to the highs. Picture perfect. That's what we see here. And honestly, that's what I think is likely here. The fact that you got so close to these highs over here at 271 and you didn't test it tells us this dip is probably going to be a buying opportunity for the move up to 271. And from that point, you're probably also going to just come up to that next high at 278.90, 98. And then that big $300 psych level. All right. This psychological level up here at 300, guys. I've seen some exact stops at these psych levels, and, I wouldn't be surprised if you literally have algorithms just drive it straight to 300, and then, that's the hive day at that day. All right. I think that is in the cards here over the next 1 to 2 months. I think we're coming up 300. I'm bullish on Tesla stock, guys. All right. We're bullish somewhere over here. All right. We're bullish on the pullback, and we're bullish on that next move and for that next move. All right, so now we're going to go over the miners, guys. Bitcoin stonks. Not looking too hot, guys. You're looking like you are going to come down to 58K, and you're going to tap that 0.618 fib. But honestly, I'm just going to say, guys, we're going to need to see this thing start, really turning around here. Okay, like you come down here and test it. I want to see something constructive down there. I want to see buyers start stepping in. All right, that's where they got to do it. And we want to see a quick reaction with how things were looking. I didn't even think we were going to come down this much. Okay, but you did. You did come down this much. Now you can see on the weekly time frame, the thing's not looking too hot. Okay, it is not looking too hot at all. I don't want to see you close out with, near the lows over here. We're probably going to take out the low if we do that. I don't want to see it. Okay. So, if the bulls want the perfect storm here, you're going to find buyers here stepping in. And then, by the end of the week, maybe we get that lower wick. And that tells us, hey, buyers are at least trying to regain control here and then can push us up to that upper trend line of this bull flag. Picture perfect for the bulls. That's what we're talking about. Resistance is going to be 60.67K and then 62.8K above there. And then support is 58K, which also happens to line with that 0.618 fib. All right. And guys, the daily RSI, you know, it's probably going to come down here, and we're probably going to get buyers stepping in. All right. Like that's the probable outcome over here. So with that in mind, let's cover some Bitcoin stocks. All right. Coin, it looks like you're probably going to, you know, come down, take out 161.13 there, and maybe come somewhere down here. If we get that Bitcoin scenario I just talked about, where we just come down here and we get that upper wick, or that large lower wick on the week there, and that shows buyers are starting to step back in, you know, maybe you bottom out somewhere in between 156 and 161, and then you start reversing from there. If Bitcoin does breach that golden pocket of that 0.786 fib, which if you guys want to see the exact number on that, it'd be 55.5K. If you breach 55.5K, you are probably coming back this low at 52.546. That would not be good. That would mean coin's going to come down, back down this low. MSTR, on the other hand, it's not going to come down back down this low. That would give us a great buying opportunity. I think this is definitely the one with strength. And I think on this dip over here, if we see this thing come down here, guys, oh my, you don't have to do nothing, okay? But opportunities are calling, all right? And honestly, if I see it, I'm entering somewhere over here. I'll sit through some red. I don't care. I'll buy some time, and I will experience this, all right? And, you know, that is just something that I'm going to reiterate now, and I'd say a lot on this channel. Guys, buy further out, and you're going to increase your win rate. Straight up. I mentioned it today in the Discord. I was talking to someone about it, and like, dude, shorter term contracts just mess with my head. Like, straight up, NVIDIA and TSM, I was in, you know, short dated calls for those literally, you know, not too long ago. I pussied out of them. I know these charts to this point. All right. But, you know, like, it adds an emotional, you know, just side to everything that I don't want to even deal with. So I'm going to tell you right now, if you deal with that, I'm telling you the solution. All right. And I've tested the solution. It is a thing. You will be much calmer in trades and be much more balanced and focused on what is actually happening if you take out the, you know, that thought that, oh my God, if it doesn't move in like a week, this thing's going to die. These contracts are dead. When reality, you know, buy 1 to 2 months out, buy 45 days out. All right. If it trades flat for a week, the contract really doesn't die. All right. It only goes down like 20% or so. Now, what happens when you take like 2 to 3 months on those? Now you really don't care. You don't care if it trades flat for a week. You know you're in the right spot. Okay. So that's all I'm saying right there. Give yourself the time to actually see what you're seeing on these charts play out. I'm telling you right now, if you pull back into here, what I'm seeing is you're gonna get this. You're going to get that. All right. And I'm not saying that's going to happen. You already are seeing buyers step up here at the daily 9, just like they stepped up here, just like they stepped up here. There's a chance we don't even get this pullback. But if it does, I'm definitely going to say it's a major opportunity on the long side for all of us. So it's something that I will have an alert set, and I'll pound the table on. And I will really just remind us all right when it is happening that we had this conversation like, hey, you know, a week ago, guys, this is what we talked about, okay? Mara, looking like poop. Honestly, CLSK, Mara, coin, looking like poop. MSTR, can't make that chart look like poop. It looks beautiful, okay? Beautiful. Now, Mara over here, guys, does have this little uptrend going on here, and you're breaking it today. You are breaking that today. Is not the best look. You probably are going to undercut this low from over here at 1467. That is something to pay attention to if you trade Mara. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't be touching this thing on the long side. CLSK, you got no reason to touch this thing on the long side. What is there? All right. It looks like it's going to come back down and take out 804. There's no reason to. You got like a sloppy head and shoulders look on Mara and CLSK. You got no reason to touch it. Let's talk about some trade ideas. CELH. Today was the day that the boy made a comeback. I did not see it early on, but I did definitely see it is up big today. This thing is coming into the weekly 9 over here. If you can get above there, I do think it's probably going to come up to 42.52. And then above there, ultimately, the target for this is, where is my little thing? Right here. Okay. 48.11. That is where you broke down from. That is probably going to act as a magnet. You come up here, you're probably coming up here. TP1, TP2. Get above 35.99, things get real freaking spicy. Okay? Like, they can get real spicy. I'm not saying they immediately get real spicy, but they can. They can immediately get real spicy. And if you get above there, even if you pull back, things are going to end in such a spicy man. Your mouth is going to be on fire. And you want your mouth to be on fire in this instance. Okay? CLH is one that we called on this breakout over here. And then we literally got a perfect break and retest entry right over here. Ever since then, all right, I think I probably called it out right over here. And I remember taking a little loss on it somewhere over here. But yeah, this thing has been a nightmare. You have finally made your first daily high, you know, a higher high. You made your first daily higher high. High, 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 high. Do you notice how all of those are lower than the previous? Lower high, lower high, lower high. Okay? Lower high. Got above that one, but you know, I'm not gonna call that like the major, you know, swing high, or like, let's look at the weekly time frame. Look at this wick where you really had price reverse. You weren't watching over here, you're watching here. You get above 35.99, things really heat up here, and I think it's very likely that that gets taken out in the short term, considering you have massive volume going on coming into this thing. You've very clearly seen buyers make their first stand this whole entire downtrend. Weekly RSI has a bullish divergence going on. It's looking ready to explode. 29.63 right there. 29.65 right there. Technically, you don't have a bullish divergence going on, but I don't care. You have a weekly RSI that's oversold, and it is now curling back up. All right, we'll call that. What happened? You also got pretty close to where you would expect buyers to step in. Oh, you did come down to where you would expect buyers to step in. Look at that. And, you know, picture perfect, you came down to that low. Oh, my gosh. Picture perfect price act. Ah, you missed it. That's how, you know, buy orders are sitting down there. People are ready to buy it because it didn't hit it. Okay? It didn't hit it. Price wasn't allowed to hit it, which means, all right, let's look at it this way, guys. Price is just a constant auction between buyers and sellers. Okay? The fact that price didn't hit it down here means buyers were, like, you know, heavily sitting down there, because the market never auctioned it off. There were more than enough buyers stepping into the equation down there that they didn't need to bring it down to support. That's how it is. Okay. Now, in reality, you are at like a weekly demand zone. So there is that. But yeah, guys, this thing honestly is top watch right now. All right. This is something that can move without the market. It could definitely move without the market. I think this move just got started. And quite frankly, guys, let's just literally look at volume. Take away that stupid RSI. All right. Just look at the volume. When was the last one that we had volume just like this? We're going to have tomorrow, which is probably going to bring more volume into this. This was just day one. What if you have another day of big volume? This is going to look freaking insane and ready to freaking explode back up here to 48.11 right away. Maybe next week. All right. I'm not saying it happens all at once, but I am definitely going to say right here, this was the last time you had big volume. Just like this. What happened the following week? You had a 12% move. It is 12%. Okay. What if you close out right here? 12% still brings you up right around 40 bucks. Okay. I'm telling you right now, the 11:15 expiration, not right now, because you already saw a little move higher and you're moving higher in the after hours. But when I was looking at them earlier, it's probably pretty similar. You have just about 100% gain if you see that move from 35 to 40 bucks. I was looking at it when it was around 33. Yeah, I want to say 33 when I really started, you know, I was looking at options, stuff like that. You know, quite honestly, if you see this thing go above here and get to the next resistance on those November 15 calls, guys, there's your 100% gain. Straight up. You see it come up here, there's a 200% gain. Straight up. You don't have to complicate it, all right? I just told you the math. That's how that'll work. If you see this price get hit within next week, next 2 weeks. We're going to say next 2 weeks. 150 to 200%. See this get hit next week, 42.52. All right. We're even going to say like around 40 bucks. You're up about 100% on those 11.15 cons. So that's CELH. Next one we're going to talk about is Dell, guys. Dell is one that, you know, I wrote off. I got off the train the other day, and I'm just gonna say I'm sad about it as of today. This thing looks like it's about to take out this high. I actually, you know what? I was most mad about this one. I was beating myself up. Honestly, I've been beating the shit out of myself recently. I slapped myself yesterday pretty hard. I punched myself before. But, you know, I slapped myself yesterday just because of what I had described at the beginning of the video. And I was like, oh, I feel freaking stupid for that one. That is just stupid. What are you doing? There's no point. Like, I know you want to hit something, but that is not doing anything. Either way, guys, got about 0.786 fib. This thing's probably coming up to 380.84. I sold on this day right here. Entered on this day, sold on this day. All right. It was somewhere up here. So, you know, it wasn't a loss. Just trying to protect myself because it looked like, you know, this thing was about to hit me with another fake out. You had a nice setup over here. You didn't get a breakout. I just, you know, was trying to front run, I remember. And yeah, but you also had one going on over here. Like, you know, either way, this thing's known to have fake outs. All right. At least from my experience, I've seen fake outs. And then the thing freaking rocket shipped. Literally the next day, the thing rocket shipped. The things went like 300%, 300, 400%, whatever it was. Now, I don't want to go look at what they are right now. I don't at all. All right. I don't. I sold them around 190. They're probably above $1,000. Don't even want to talk about them. I had 4 of them. Don't want to talk about them. But yeah, guys, now that you got above 365.50, I do think 380.84 is incoming. So this is a trade idea that I will put back on your radar, even though we definitely already mentioned it on this fresh breakout over here. I think I posted on Twitter, guys. The Twitter link is down below if you guys want to go follow over there. I will post some charts over there when I see setups coming together. All right, next one we're going to talk about Oklo. Okay, Oklo over here on the daily time frame, I think is setting up, and you could also see it pretty clear on the weekly time frame as well. If you do get buyers stepping in tomorrow, which looks that's probably what's going to happen with how we just closed out. It doesn't have to happen. These, you know, they don't have to move like them big boys, all right? We don't have the cleanest price action all the time on, you know, these smaller stocks. But at the end of the day, you definitely got a break and retest going on. You made the higher high on the weekly time frame. You made the higher high higher than that one. And I think you're probably going to come up into the golden pocket, at least up at like, you know, $13.50 to $16. This was your buying opportunity right there. Okay. You were breaking out over here. Maybe you took some profits. Okay. And then guess what? Maybe you got to enter back over here. And now you're going to ride it back over there. And it's going to be a money printer for you. So there's a trade idea for you. Maybe it turns into your money printer. Maybe it doesn't. Let me know if you do end up taking these guys. All right. Let me know if you touch CELH, Oklo, Dell, any of these. Let me know what you guys are up to. All right. Let me know what you guys are doing. Are you guys taking advantage of some of these things? I hope so. No other reason to make these videos if not. There you go. All right. But yeah, sexy break and retest going on here, guys. I do think you could very well just push back up here to, you know, around that 1080 mark. I'm actually just going to change that to this high over here at 1129. We're going to say right here. Okay, so 1030 up there, 1129, then 1242, and then 1370. That's what we were paying attention to over there. All right, guys. So, you know, this is definitely one that is, it's looking ready to go. And honestly, out of the big boys, guys, I would say your best bet right now, Amazon looks great. Tesla, you know, this thing is a freaking troll. But this is the setup that I was talking about before it came, and now it's here. And, you know, I'm just going to say that's the definition of flip-flopping because, you know, like, you know, short-term price action. The macro, you know, picture here, the big picture is you have a big breakout here. You just retested that big breakout. There's no denying. It's a big spot. You just retested. You put a hammer candlestick off of increasing volume on that level. It looks like it's probably ready to go. Come over here, the 4-hour time frame. The RSI is already almost oversold. If you saw price actually close a 4-hour candlestick down here, it probably would be in oversold territory. We very, very likely could see buyers step in here and start running it back up. But the first thing you have to do on this chart is you got to get back above 244.24. Why do I say that? Daily 9 is going to meet you halfway, and if you can get a close over there, you're probably closing above that daily 9. That is going to mean you probably are going to start running it back up. That is going to be good. All right. So Amazon, Tesla. All right. What else did we throw at you? CELH. We got Dell. and we got Oklo. And I do actually want to point out Oxy. I'm not gonna say I'm entertained by this this price action we're having right now. But I am going to remind you guys, we did have a big candle just like that, and you did get above the weekly 9 over here. I did definitely say when we got that, you know, it's probably good. Like, you know, this looks like easy money coming up here, but it literally had this same exact setup over here and then consolidated before having that next little leg up. That could be what we're getting over here. So just something to keep in mind. I'm not saying get bearish on Oxy by any means. You are getting seller step in, but you know, I do think it is going to be resolved to the upside. It's just taking a little while. I'm not going to say it's the most bullish look over here on the daily time frame though. I don't necessarily like it. All right. Plus, like, you just had volume fall off after this candlestick. You had volume just continuously fall off. It's not really the best look. All right, so that's what we got for you today. I know, hour and 10-minute video. I hope you guys did enjoy the video, though. Just hanging out and talking about charts. I know we like to talk. I know I like to talk. I apologize. But yeah, I do hope you guys enjoyed the video. And if you did enjoy it, please remember to leave a like so we can get this hour and 10-minute video out to more people and we can grow the channel. Honestly, I mean, I don't think I really have to make the shortest videos. I mean, I do definitely want to respect people's time, but I do also fully acknowledge that, you know, the type of viewer that's watching this style of content, they're not a TikTok short watcher. They're not a YouTube, like, you know, they probably do watch shorts, but like, let's look at it this way. They're here to see what's going on with the markets. And, you know, I don't think anyone's going to go through this video and not get one step closer in their direction. I'm going to be completely honest, all right? Like, even with my little talks and stuff like that, you know, at the end of the day, we talk about trading this channel. We stick to the charts most of the time, but we do, I will throw in my little trade and stuff here and there. So I apologize, but I also say I'm sorry, not sorry. I think it is beneficial to anybody starting out in the market, as well as anybody, you know, experienced in the market, as well as, you know, an advanced person who you could just skip past these little things if you don't want to listen to them. Or they'll be your little reminders that, yeah, that stuff happens. All right. But yeah, with that being said, I will catch y'all in the next one. I appreciate you guys. Apologize for no video yesterday. We had a nice long video today. But we you know, it's like we never miss a video, right? Same time. All right. Catch y'all in the next one. Peace.